The news that Ben Shephard may be Phillip Schofield's replacement appears not to have gone down well with This Morning host Josie Gibson, who reportedly feels used and a bit betrayed, as the ITV daytime show's bosses are said to be planning to choose someone who isn't the former Big Brother star. Josie has been putting in her all to help raise the ratings for the scandal hit show over the last few months, and Blinkerhole wonders whether someone in particular could be responsible for getting Josie's hopes up of bagging the coveted position. Who would it benefit? Holly Willoughby, of course. Dressing room chat and best buddy fakery from Holly, in our opinion, might be the reason behind Josie's high hopes, which have now been completely and cruelly dashed. It comes after Good Morning Britain star Ben Shephard wowed viewers as he made an appearance last month, but as we revealed in a previous video, ITV bosses reportedly tipped Ben to replace Schofield as far back as 2019, so in effect, they too have been stringing the part-time presenters along with their ridiculous revolving door shifts. It is no wonder then that Ben Shephard's stint is said to have ruffled some feathers behind the scenes of the rapidly waning daytime show. The news of Ben's frontrunner position in the queue for the top job, pardon the pun, reportedly has left Josie feeling a little surprised and sidelined. A source said, "Josie has been doing such a good job and everyone felt as though she would be staying as main co-host for good, but it now seems producers are hesitant about making it an all-female lineup. There are hopes that Holly and Ben could have classic chemistry like she did with Phil." They said Josie knows producers don't want to get rid of her, but added, "She's just feeling unsure about what her role within the show is going to be and had hoped for more of a feeling of job security rather than being pitted against other presenters." No wonder Josie feels used and betrayed. Perhaps ITV bosses should have thought carefully before alienating the few presenters they have left, as Ben Shephard is now said to be seriously torn between Good Morning Britain and This Morning, with Susanna Reid desperate for him to stay on GMB. Ben loves doing both shows, but Susanna Reid really wants him to stay on Good Morning Britain, a source said. Although they are on the same channel, they are sort of rivals and both need ratings, and Ben is great at bringing in viewers. This Morning has had mixed ratings since Phil left, and not everyone sees Holly in the way they once did, so she needs a good partner next to her who'll bring in ratings. In a recent chat with The Mirror, Josie Gibson said, "I have the best job in the world. Holly and I have a great laugh together. The other day, she sent me a message and said, 'This bloke has been asking after you. His name is Scott Chegg,' and I said, 'I've never heard of him. Send me a picture.' She sent me a picture of a Scotch egg. I fell for it hook, line and sinker. There we have it. It appears we are right about the fake chumminess and, dare we say, manipulation by Holly Willoughby." How many more people are going to be, in our opinion, used then dropped like a lead weight by the grinning assassin Holly Willoughby before people finally wake up to her devious behavior? Josie, though, did show a spark of knowing when in the interview she honestly shared, "Obviously my favorite is Alison Hammond. I love her, she's got such a special energy," she said. "She is the kindest person on earth. You could ring her and after the phone call, you feel $1 million. You'd never know if she was in a bad mood because she's too busy trying to make you feel good." The news of Josie's betrayal comes after a This Morning Spin to Win competition contestant asked for Josie's autograph as a red-faced Holly Willoughby looked on. During the segment, winner Andy said, "Can I have your autograph, Josie? I love you so much," to which Josie replied, "You can have my autograph. Andy, I love you." As an afterthought, the caller then added he wanted Holly's autograph, with the presenter saying they would both send their signatures. This Morning viewers picked up on the awkward moment as one fan tweeted, "Love how Holly got snubbed just then, no autograph off you," and another added, "Andy just pretty much gave Holly a massive middle finger." The following morning, things didn't improve for Holly Willoughby as she came under fire and was forced to apologize after she falsely told the This Morning caller they had gotten the passcode wrong on Spin to Win, when they hadn't. Perhaps she might want to cut down on those Aperol spritzes she keeps banging on about. As the phone lines rang and Holly and Josie Gibson eagerly waited for someone to answer, the line cleared and one viewer expressed, "Cool as a cucumber." Forgetting what she was meant to be listening out for, Holly said, "Oh no, it is the wrong passphrase. I am so sorry. I am afraid we are going to have to move on. I am so sorry. You had it. You just said the wrong thing." Seconds before they cut off the caller, Josie held a finger up to her ear as Holly exclaimed, "Oh, hang on, you're not wrong. We are wrong. We are so sorry. In the script it says the wrong passphrase there. You are correct. We are wrong and we apologize for that. Viewers of the show noticed the awkward blunder and took to X, formerly Twitter, to express their opinions. One said, "Holly and Josie, you might want to check before you play the game." And another added, "Well, that wasn't awkward. Maybe Holly needs to be reminded of the passcode before they play the game." A third added, "Holly not knowing the passcode and nearly costing the caller life-changing money. Very professional." So, it looks like Josie Gibson is out of the running for the gig of a lifetime, becoming the next Phillip Schofield, and Ben is wavering over his decision to jump ship. So who's left? Craig Doyle, who has also been partnering up with Holly, has been clever not to put all of his eggs in one basket and has landed himself other roles, including a huge presenting gig, but not on This Morning. Craig took over from Laura Wood, presenting the National Football League program on ITV. And regular Dermot O'Leary has recently been run off his feet with promo work as he celebrated the launch of his children's book Wings of Glory. But it could be said that the most successful co-host of This Morning is Alison Hammond, who had her body language on the show analyzed by Darren Stanton, who said, "Alison is quite animated. She comes across as super confident, but when Holly sits next to her on the sofa as they present as a duo, we see Holly tilting herself away to the left. This suggests she finds Alison's presence a bit overpowering. It's a way of saying, this is too much for me." After This Morning's embarrassing defeat at the NTAs, another body language expert, Judy James, analyzed presenters' behavior at the awards show, suggesting that Holly Willoughby used Alison Hammond as a shield while This Morning got booed and exhibited clingy behavior. She continued, "Holly took a self-diminished, vulnerable-looking role with her body language, at one point leaning into Alison and using her as a shield as she put her torso behind her arm and placed a hand on Alison in a clingy gesture. Alison was presented as the star of the show during the awards, looking straight into the camera and doing comedy poses for her audience as Holly sat beside her with one arm folded across her own lap in a barrier ritual. Holly's smile did look a little forced, and when Alison was featured, Holly pursed her lips as she turned to clap her colleague with a childlike, small clapping gesture with her hands held high." Judy continued, "Under pressure it looked like Holly goes into vulnerable child mode. Alison goes into comedy leadership mode." Blinkerhole believes that this childlike stance picked up on by Judy is exactly what Holly may have been using to get her own way since her childhood. A cunning display of vulnerability, especially by a narcissist, unfortunately can often persuade empathic people into giving them what they want. And Judy's observation of Alison's leadership skills also seemed to be bob on, after reports that American Bake Off viewers are falling in love with her following the hilarious new host's debut. Known as The Great British Baking Show Across the Pond, the first episode of the 11th series aired in the US a few days after British viewers met the new bakers. For many Americans, this is their first experience of Alison's bubbly personality and hilarious quips, and it is safe to say that a lot of them are a huge fan of her already. American viewers took to X, formerly Twitter, with one writing, "Okay, only 20 minutes into the first episode of Great British Baking Show's newest season, and I have to say, I absolutely adore Alison. She is very personable, it seems like, and I'm with her. Rhubarb is gross." And another added, "Starting the latest Great British Baking Show season. Loving the inclusion of a baker with a cochlear implant and a sign language interpreter. Also, I'm not far into the show, but so far I'm liking Alison more than some other hosts." To conclude, we think that ITV will have to tread very carefully now. With Holly Willoughby's reputation in serious decline and the fact that the allegations against ITV This Morning of toxicity are still unaddressed after the independent inquiry was delayed until the end of the year, together with a drastic drop in viewing figures, will there be any good presenters left who would be willing to risk their own careers to host an ailing show marred by scandal after scandal? We don't think so. If Ben Shephard does make the jump from Good Morning Britain to This Morning, who's to say that more viewers will tune in if Holly Willoughby is still on the show? Perhaps the best thing for everyone and the viewers would be to let her go when her contract expires in December and go back to the old format of classy presenters and interesting topics. But Alison Hammond won't care what they do. Cracking America is one of the hardest and most coveted accolades one can achieve in their career. So if she manages it, it's safe to say that it will be she, not Holly Willoughby, that will have the last laugh when this fiasco is all over. Please like and subscribe for more journeys through the Blinkerhole. For entertainment purposes only. Keep up to date with our latest investigations and hit the join button. If you like what we do, send us a super thanks. Official Blinkerhole merchandise is available in store.